All right, we are live. Okay, so you guys, I'm so excited about this Zoom. The reason why we made this emergency Zoom and why it's so important is because we have something really huge that we want to share with you. Okay, so if you were at conference, it was just mind blowing. I mean, a different kind of fire in my belly. I've been in this business for almost 4 years now, and this is by far one of the best conferences that I've ever attended. And I actually got to
future of the United States.
This is actually probably the best conference that I have personally attended. So I'm just excited. You know, the heart of this company is so grounded and has so much focus that honestly, if you watch this or you went to conference and you're still not sure, then I can probably tell you this probably isn't for you. But if you watched it and you went and you saw that there's something different about this company, you know that there is definitely nothing out there like it works. The heart of this company is to be debt-free, to be a big giver, to be confident in talking about helping others, because that is what this is about. How many people can you help? And that is what determines the success of your journey. And so the thing that we're going to get to announce today that's going to help you hit your goals is going to be a plan that is designed to help you help as many people as possible. So for those of you that know, we have some huge bonuses to go after, but there are several of you that didn't get to hop onto the pay-per-view or didn't see what's going on at conference. So we have a huge announcement. Bonuses are out. They're available for anybody who wants them. Anybody who promoted in January, moving on forward, is now able to get eligible for two different bonuses. One is a Go Fast bonus for promoting fast. And if you don't hit that metric, you get a Go bonus. And the Go bonus, no, I'm on my... Brittany, did you mean that to me? I'm on my computer. It's recording. For anybody who had a Go bonus, here's what Pam told me. She said that Doug, the guy that's in charge of our finances, who pays the bills, who can see promotions, they went and they looked back for people who work their business every single day. For people who are specific to working their businesses every single day, they typically promote to diamond in 6 months, and all the chart is laid out for everyone what rank they go for. So for anybody who hits the average of that, they get to hit these bonuses, the Go bonuses. But what they threw in there is if you go fast, in other words, you promote in half the time that statistics have shown what people promote to, you get double the bonus. So what I want to tell you is, you guys, your upline, I promoted to diamond in 3 months. So I know what it takes to go diamond to get the Go Fast bonus. And I want to show you guys exactly what it takes. We're going to be working tight-knit, close together. If you're serious about going diamond and above, we're going to get to know each other really well, really soon. We're going to have a lot of Zooms like this, specific to charting for diamond, what it looks like to actually work your business, how to have time management. I think that's one of the biggest issues, or the things that I hear from people when they're struggling in their business, is hearing, I don't have the time, I work full time, I have 4 kids. Whatever the thing is, we want to show you how to work this business utilizing the time that you do have available and what working your business really looks like. So how many of you guys enjoy doing the power hours? Just by a show of hands for those of you who are on. Has anybody done the power hours? All right, so we're going to announce something really exciting that's going to help you hit your goals utilizing a format similar to the power hour. But first, I just want to talk about conference, because I know for me, there were several aha moments, which I'll share in a bit, but I want to hear from those of you that went to conference. If you don't mind just kind of raising your hand and telling, what was your biggest aha moment from conference? What tip or tool did you take that you know is going to take your business to another level? And even if you did the pay-per-view, you're welcome to share that. So does anybody want to start?
I'll share. One of the biggest things, I think, and it's definitely about the bonuses and everything, is getting back to the basics and going to work. Because I feel like a lot of people do this and they're like, okay, I'm going to do my steps to success, but they're not committing to working their business every single day to reset goals. So like they're thinking they're going diamond. You can't go diamond with, working your business every other day. Like you can't, you've got to be consistent. So if your goal is to, go diamond, go to supplement your income, you got to work, you've got to work hard, and you have to put in the time and put in the effort. But, it's worth it, it can happen. But versus like, but if your goal is, just to, basically use the products for free, well then, then you can work it that way too. But if you're realistic and your goal is diamond and above, it's time to work, and work each day. That's what we did when we went diamond and above. We were organized, had our calendar out, having parties every week, doing all those little things to, close out boxes and, hit the goals and stuff. So
I agree. That was so, and even then, like for those of you that have been in this business for over a year, maybe feel like you haven't grown to the rank or the paychecks that you want to get at. Those are things that we're going to start looking at, because I know that if you're on this and you've been doing this business for, even more than 3 months, and you're on this, it's because you have aggressive goals to bring in more to your family, to change more lives. And so we're going to overcome any obstacle, any hurdle that you have had that has kept you going to wherever you're going. I think last year a lot of people were distracted by what people were doing from the left and to the right. And hold on, let me mute all callers just real quick. Okay. Just distracted to seeing what somebody's doing to the left and to the right. And what I wanted to ask you is, think about, for those of you that have distributors on your team, this is something that's brought up at conference. The distributors that you have on your team, when you first signed up, if you signed distributors within your first month or 2 months, how did you get them? Was it social media? Was it a wrap party? Because that is typically going to be the way you're going to want to nurture and start getting in tune with your business, So maybe you started off by doing wrap parties, but you went away from that. You did 100% social media and your business is struggling. Are you utilizing the tools and the resources available on social media to growing your business? Or do you maybe need to kind of evolve and start doing other things to help you grow your business? So I think that's a really good tip. I loved also the blitzing segment. Did anybody else take any aha moments for that? That's the one that was with like Carrie Bauer or Carrie Young. Anybody else?
I think a big, can you hear me good? I'm on my headset.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think a big one for me was when they talked about like just keeping it simple. Blitz, wrap, repeat. Like that's something that I struggle with. So I just, can relate to that so much about not making things so complicated. Like they have simple steps and we overcomplicate things, and we think we have to pull all these new tricks out when really it's blitz, wrap, repeat. You blitz people, you go out and talk to someone every day, you put the wrap on people, and you just keep doing that. Eventually people are gonna, once you get the wrap on people, it speaks for itself. So that was like a big moment for me to just keep those steps. And then of course, keep in contact with those people, follow up is so important once you are blitzing, connecting with them. But to not make it any more complicated than that. Like you don't even, I feel in the beginning, have to focus on any of the other products right away. We have, we have a bunch of other amazing products, but the wrap is just it's just golden. So you focus on that. And then if other people, ask you, okay, well, do you have this? I have stretch marks really bad that I need, or I have low energy, then okay, you can go into that. But just to focus on the wrap. Like I noticed when I started doing that and I just kind of just talked about that, it started going so much more easier for me. So when they started talking about, just make it simple, just get the wrap on people, that was like, it just hit home with me. And I'm like, exactly. So I thought that was a good one, especially when it comes to blitzing. Just, hey, I have this coupon, $25, like, let's get it on you. Great. Awesome. When do you have time? And then, move on.
I agree. I completely agree. I think, for me, growing and, talking about promoting fast, for those of you that are going for the Go Fast bonuses, we had a really massive recruitment month last month, right? We had the double BOGO. So a lot of you on this Zoom right now, either maybe you signed up with that BOGO distributor enrollment. Maybe you signed and you personally sponsored someone. That means each of you are eligible for 6 months, 3 months to be able to get these huge bonuses. I'm going to talk into detail in just a minute about these Go bonuses and Go Fast and how to get them, what the rules look like, because we want to make sure we don't skip the rules and then hit them and then we didn't have something checked into place. So, going back to the basics, are you talking about the wrap? Because that is one thing nobody else has. And if you're not a believer in it, it's probably because you haven't wrapped enough people. And that was actually my segment, talking about the only time that I talk to people that are scared to blitz, that are scared in promoting their business, and they know they need this, is because they have not wrapped enough people. So they don't really truly understand what they have their hands on. When I wrap people and I literally see tummies go from like cellulite and belly buttons kind of like squished together to like opening it up, like a circle, a line turns into a circle and their tummy is smoother, and like from the side they're not as bloated, and you see that in 45 minutes, how can you not share that? Like, it's mind-boggling to me that I have something like that it's affordable and that I can, like share with anyone. So I'm going to go and talk to more people about it. Like, some people look at me and like, well, I just don't know if I could do this because I'm not as bubbly as you or as talkative. And I'm like, you don't have to have any kind of cookie cutter personality. You just got to be excited. Like, whatever exciting looks like for you. And if you're not excited, it's because you don't know what these products can do. You don't know what this business can do. And you've got to start going out there and just putting it on people and being bold and asking them and telling them, I have one on me. Do you want to try it? It literally takes 2 minutes for me to put it on. Hey friend, I have a huge favor. I want to wrap you for free. Would you be willing to try it as one of my product portfolios? All you need to do is invite 2 or 3 friends that want to try it for $25 and I'll wrap you for free. Like, throw it out there to them. Make it easy to put the wrap on people. I think we overcomplicate this, or some of you have not stepped out because you just told yourself, I'm just going to do this from my phone. And that's awesome. But if you don't know what you have your hands on and you're not wrapping people, you're going to cap yourself out from hitting the top ranks of this company. There's a lot of people at the top of this company that that do this 100% on social media. But you know what they do? They have their customers send them their before and after pictures. They're going out there and they're still wrapping people. And I think we just need to see what this product does, because if you've had somebody who said that they didn't see a difference and that has kept you from wrapping more people, like, that is a shame, because that means that the next 9 that you ask, we say 9 out of 10 people don't, see results the very first time they try it. So if you got that 0.1%, that didn't see results, like, you just need to go out there and wrap more people. So that way when people tell you, it's exciting. And I want to take one more. I think Lisa said she wanted to share. Do you want to share?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a couple of things. Everybody can tell you, we took a ton of notes. But one of the things was the newbie checklist. How are we launching our DTs or new DTs? And we went through this whole scenario where Melanie was a new distributor, and they sat her down and went one by one by one, and we can share that checklist with you. But I think that that's so critical, because when you set someone up as a DT and you just say oh, okay, well, let me know when you want to do your party or when you get your kit, then because everybody wants to put things off till the time that they get their kit, and there's no magic ingredient in the kit that we can't tell them the moment that we sign them. So setting them up immediately and setting those dates and creating that party culture on your team is critical to launching their business and stabilizing yours. So that was huge. And we'll share that checklist. But another thing was when Joel Dunn, these people, when they go up there and speak, you can't take enough notes. But Joel Dunn said, a spirit of complacency will rob you of your purpose in this life. And if you build it, why wouldn't you? And I think that we all have to play that out, because it's if you build it, they will come. No, if you can build it, why wouldn't you? Because you can. There's no reason why you can't do this business. So if you can, and you can reach the top, why wouldn't you? Who wouldn't want that? And then Mark Pentecost said, if to remember that when people quit, you're not quitting on It Works, you're not quitting on your upline or on Mark Pentecost himself, you're quitting on yourself. And so you have to realize that if you decide not to do something, no one's really being affected, just you, and you have this purpose and you don't want to fall short of that and live with pain of I didn't do it, rather than I did it and I didn't make it this time, let me keep going. Like, you have to choose your pain. And it's not, it takes work, but it's super, super simple. And that's what you have to keep thinking. Like, this is too simple to not do. It's insane to, pass up an incredible opportunity when you have a purpose to do this.
And that's a really good point. I was talking to somebody who I personally enrolled this morning. I was talking to her, and she shared, I know I haven't given this like my 110%, I think. And I told her, look, here's the thing. This business is not hard. First of all, I want you guys to take a look around. Like, if you haven't scrolled the screens, I want you to take a look around. I see somebody doing this business, nursing their baby. I see somebody changing a baby. I see somebody at their office. I see someone in a car. Like, my goodness, that is a blessing when you realize how you can change lives and not impede on people's lifestyles, that they can fit this into their business. Why are we scared to reach out and talk to more people? Like, it seriously it gives me chills just seeing this, because this is what we exemplify. We can help people wherever their circumstances are. I'm seeing your babies, you guys, and seriously, it wells tears up in my eyes, because I am fighting for you. I want to see you guys home with your babies if that's your heart's desire. I don't want you to have to check into your child for childcare if that's not what you want. But your fight's got to be bigger. You've got to realize that fighting for this business is so much more than fighting for this business. It is an easy business. Now, it's simple. Like, really, if you think about it, hard for me is like pulling Excel spreadsheets, converting them into reports, clocking in for somebody else, submitting PTO so I can go on a vacation, getting to work late and not on time, and getting, feeling like I'm in trouble because I only have one more time. Like, that's hard for me. Hard is like not being able to go to my son's Valentine's party tomorrow. Like, that's hard for me. Hard is not reaching out to somebody who liked my post because that post was tough to begin with, but I did it and somebody liked it, and then messaging them and telling them like, hey, have you ever thought about supplementing a side income? It's not hard work, but you guys, so many of you are on this that haven't just put in the work. You want this and you make posts on social media, but you're not putting in the work. You're not messaging people. You're not reaching out. You're not getting out of your comfort zone. That spirit of complacency is exactly that. It is a spirit. It is not of God. And so I challenge every single person that's on this right now to just be willing and open to get out of your comfort zone to do things. Sometimes it just takes this courageous send, click, close your eyes, and pray that they don't delete you. And if they do, so what? Like, so what? They deleted you, they unfriended you, they didn't talk back to you. But that next person you message is like, oh my gosh, I just, I'm on maternity leave. And we're gonna talk about the way to network and grow. Like, for those of you that I see that are new mamas, are you in moms groups? Are you networking? Are you commenting on their stuff? Like, oh my God, your baby's so cute. How old is she? Oh, you're breastfeeding too? Oh, talk about things, build relationships. It's not hard. It's just putting in the time. And if you have very limited time, that means you're busy. And that is a good thing. The busiest people get to the top of this company, because guess what? You know a lot of people. And in the limited time you get, all you got to do is talk to people, reach out to them, be specific about, okay, I'm going to use an hour. Sometimes you guys, seriously, this is what I do. I have to turn my phone on airplane mode so I don't get distracted with text, with notifications. And I literally go on my computer and I am working. Working to me is not, messaging a teammate. It's not asking my team how they're doing. But working this business is me reaching out to potentials and adding new friends and building my network. That is really working the business. Reaching out to your team and asking them if they want this and what their goals are is essential, but that's maintenance. If you keep just doing that and you don't build, you'll never get further than where you're at. And if you're not happy where you're at, then it's going to go back. So my challenge to you is set a time for maintaining your business. Hey, where are you at? I'm going all in. Maybe some of you guys that are on this have kind of taken a step back. You saw these bonuses and you're like, well, what if? Maybe I should just give it a try. So spend a little bit of time reaching out to people on your team and just, look, I'm going all in. I need Diamond. Like, I'm going to get that $10,000 bonus. I just need to know where you're at. I know when you started, and I always remind people why they started. I know when you started, you said you want to be home with your babies, or you said that you needed $500 a month, or that you wanted to be able to, whatever the reason they started. Have things changed? No, things have not changed. I just don't think I can do this. Okay, well, I'm willing to work with you and help you overcome that. I just need to know where you kind of fit in my organization, because I want to help you. But if you don't want to do this, just tell me. I think sometimes we coddle people and we want to spoon feed and do everything. But you guys, as all of you that's on this, all of us are emerging leaders. I never have done anything like this, and I'm still learning. So every single one of you, you're going to be empowered to lead thousands of people. Now, what does that look like? Like, that's kind of scary thinking about it, right? Like, there's going to be 1,000 people on your team one day or more. What does that really look like? That means that you've got to have a fire and a belief so big that you can believe in people even when they don't believe in themselves. And it also means that you have a lot of people that you're going to help break through these things. So we've just got to get focused on empowering people to be the leader God has called them to be, not that you've called them to be, because we're only as strong as like the people we're around. So it's truly just sitting, like finding out, okay, what is their fear? Is it just messaging people? Is it doing a party? Like I love hosting wrap parties. For somebody I personally enroll, I host their launch party. I might do too. But after that, I know for me to empower them, I've got to show them that they are made to be the head and not the tail, and that they can do it. And so those are things that we need to start doing and believing. And so we're going to have a roadmap to diamond, and this is going to apply for any rank and above, because guess what? Every rank in this business is made up of rubies. Ruby is a promotion that anybody, I believe, can hit within their first month to 2 months if you're strategic, if you're diligent about putting one thing into your business every single day. And so what that looks like for me is if I can teach somebody how to go Ruby, I can go ambassador. You've got to believe that. So going Ruby is the first thing. All of us on this call should be striving for Ruby at a minimum, because it's doable. If you're intentional and you put in at least an hour a day into your business, I can tell you that in the next 2 weeks, anybody who's on this Zoom, I don't care if you just signed up yesterday, you can go Ruby in the next 2 weeks. We're going to show you how. But after that, guess what? You can teach people how to go Ruby. And it takes 3 people on your team to go Ruby, to go diamond. So, this is what I did. And I'm not going to break down the diamond chart right now. That's going to be for a different Zoom. We have a whole plan to set up to help you grow your business. But just in a nutshell, I went diamond in 3 months. And the way I did that was just getting in front of more people and getting in front of my team's personal people. So if you have, people on your mind right now that are going to do the business, you want to help them grow their business, not signing them up and hoping like you remember your kiddo used to throw, I don't know if anybody did this. I'm going to probably throw myself out there as that girl is gross. But in the bathroom, people used to get toilet paper and wet it and throw up, just be bratty kids and seeing if it sticks or whatever. I think some people do that with their business. They get people on their team and just hope that they stay. And then when they quit, I'm like, hey, what happened to so-and-so? I don't know, girl. She's just too busy. I'm like, well, did you believe in her? Did you help her overcome obstacles? Did she stop throwing people up and hoping they stick? Work with them. Get in front of their potentials. You might not know what you're doing, but you know what? Where 2 or more gather, God is in the midst. So if 2 people can come and help the third person who you're having a coffee date to talk about this business, the goals you're shooting for, how you'd love to help them, you probably have a new teammate or a new customer on your team. So I think it's just talking, seeing this more as a business and not if I had a loan out to have a Smoothie King or State Farm insurance or whatever, that's a lot of money on the line. So I'm going to do everything I can every day to make sure I'm networking, telling people about what I'm doing, where I'm located. Same thing with this business. It does not matter if you have, it's only $99 and you make your money back, but stop treating it like it's $99. Treat it like it's $1 million business. And that's what you end up seeing. So I want us to all just be intentional about helping our team, helping them get vision on what they want. And then again, continuing to recruit and grow our team and help people, be able to achieve their goals. So let's look at what the bonuses look like for those of you that have not seen it. So I'm going to do a share screen. Can you guys see that? Hold on, I can't see. Just type yes in the chat box if you can see it. Okay. All right, so this is the bonus that is announced. The bonuses that are up for right now for grabs for anybody that wants it. So what Doug, the guy that oversees finance, did is he took, for somebody who works their business every single day, they're actively talking to people about it, the average person goes diamond in 6 months. So if you've been in this business longer than 6 months and you haven't hit it, and you're like, oh my God, if that's the average, why am I not diamond? Guess what? You probably haven't been working your business every day. Just accept that, but it's okay. Today's a new day. We're going focused, moving forward, and you're going to get this bonus. So it takes 6 months. So you get a $5,000. But as you recruit and you're helping people grow, you tell them, our goal is you're going to go diamond in 3 months. You're going to get a $10,000 bonus. And what I love about this is that you are eligible to continue to grow your team and help them, coaching them to get one of these 2 bonuses, obviously striving for the go fast for every single one of us. You know, that's $10,000, $30,000, up to $150,000. Now, going ambassador in 10 months is not unrealistic, you guys. There are people in this business. Ashley Sinclair has gone ambassador. That's why it's probably the Go Fast number. Ashley Sinclair went ambassador in 9 months. We saw a conference, I think Genevieve Sykes in 11 months. There were quite a few people who said they went ambassador in less than 12 months. That is intentional, you know, laser focused action. That is, I am not going to hold back who I share this with. That's, your kids are going to bed, you're tired, but you're staying up to message more people, add more friends to your Facebook. I don't know about you, but if I got a $150,000 bonus on top of a $37,000 monthly paycheck, I am willing to be sleepless for 10 months. So what kind of, and you know, some of you are looking at that like, that's unnecessary. I don't need that much money. That's okay. Like you don't, but I'm just telling you it's doable, because there's some of you that are on this that are like, holy cow, like, is that for real? Like, could I really get that? Like, you might like nice things. You might have a ton of debt. Like that could be something you're striving for. And I just want to like assure you that this is doable. You know, I went ambassador probably like in 24-ish months. You know, so it's totally doable. Oh no, maybe it was 15 months. So, you know, on the Go bonus, the 20, that's actually super doable. Like these are bonuses on top of your monthly paychecks. You know, for those of you that are new, what is a diamond? A diamond averages about $2,000 a month. So you're going to get a $2,000 bonus in addition to these payouts, and they're broken out as well. But my gosh, when I got a $10,000 bonus, I think my monthly my diamond paycheck was about $2,200-$2,300. Some months it was $2,400-$2,500. Like that could have paid my mortgage and then some, you know, at the time on my previous home. So this, like, diamond's a serious goal. That can, I mean, that's a job. You know, people can quit their job. You know, many people can quit their job at diamond. You know, for those of you that are, you know, just, that's how much you're paying in daycare. You know, I know people who pay, you know, over $1,000, $1,800 for their kids to go to daycare. That is a ton of money. You know, if you can make that money, you're bringing it home. Like you don't have to go to daycare, but you're also making money. Double diamond. Now, double diamonds average anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. You're getting that in addition to a $30,000 bonus. And guess what? If you don't hit that in 4 months, you can get that in 8 months. So you still have time to be laser focused and get a $15,000 bonus. Triple diamonds average about anywhere from $8,000 to $11,000 a month. So these are bonuses. $50,000 on the Go Fast bonus for 6 months. 12 months would be $25,000. I think I went triple in my 8th month, so I would have gotten the Go bonus. Presidential diamonds average anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 a month. That is life-changing income, you guys. When we went presidential diamond, we were able to save over $100,000 in our savings account, so that way we could purchase a home and put that down as a down payment. That is life-changing money for me. You know, Mark talked about good, about great. He said good is awesome. Like that, good is being able to buy a car and cash. You know, great is being able to, being able to pay off your mortgage. That's great. But we want to build legendary, we want to build legacies for our families. We want to be able to build legendary lifestyles for people. And I am so hungry for this. I want to run with every single one of you that are willing, because I pour my heart and soul in this, and I'm going to invest in every single one of you that want this. And I just want to know which of you want legendary lifestyles. To me, legendary is being able to leave an inheritance for your children's children, to be debt-free, to be able to give back to your community when God has prompted you. If somebody said their washer broken, you have the money to buy them a washer, like to be able to do things like that. I think some of us are in such challenging circumstances that we start letting that define us, and we can't, like, as much as we have good hearts and want to help others, some of us just can't. We can't think that far. We're just thinking how to pay rent. And that was me, you guys. When I started this business, I just wanted to know, are we going to have enough to pay our mortgage? Are we going to have enough to pay off, our CPS? Like, I remember getting notices. We had a water leak, and I had a notice from CPS that our bill was like $600, that I was freaking. I was calling them, what's the minimum I can pay? Do you think if somebody told me their washer broke down that I would have been able to do anything for them? I would have just been like, oh my gosh, that sucks, but I'm just about to lose my electricity. Like, there are some people praying for something like this, and had my sister not continued to ask me, and hadn't continued to, okay, let me make sure I continue audio. Had my sister not continue to ask me, if you can just mute yourself. I don't know if maybe we got somebody in late, and since I'm on the share screen, I don't have the option to mute callers. Oh, actually I do. had my sister not continued to ask me, to do this and not had given up on me, I honestly don't know where I'd be right now. I'd probably be back in the corporate world. I would have just gotten accustomed to my kids being in daycare. We probably would have been okay, but we wouldn't even have been good, great, and definitely not legendary. So this is why these options are here. This is why Go Fast is here, because I can tell you firsthand that when we hit, like, Triple Diamond was life-changing because we paid off over $20,000 of credit card debt, and we were able to pay off, at the time we had $40,000 of IRS debts. My husband's in real estate, had been doing that for so long. I was unemployed for 2 years. So that was really good, right? But Presidential was great. Like, we were able to dream big. We're in a home that we got to be able to put like serious money down. Ambassador Diamond, you guys, seeing paychecks that used to be my annual salary for 1 month paycheck, that is life-changing. To be able to start working with somebody to help plan your future and plan your children's future, and dream boarding with check marks next to them. Like, I want this for every single one of you. It is not about the money. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if your family makes you feel like you are being selfish or greedy. It is a lie from the pit of hell. The enemy wants us to feel like that, so we're not a blessing to others. But when you are in abundance and you're not struggling and you have way more than enough and your bills are paid in full, you will be a dent to God's kingdom. You have to believe that there are people out there praying for something like this, and this is meant for you to share it. And so, like, look at these numbers, talk to your family. What do you want? What income would change your life? What bonus would change your circumstances? What would change other people's circumstances? And so I'm going to go into the description of what this looks like, because it's going to be different for those of you that enrolled before this year, and for anybody who signed up January 1st moving forward, it is different for as well. So all new distributors have this specific time frame here in this chart. So if you signed up January 1st, 2017, moving forward, this is the chart you go by. You have this time frame from the enrollment date. And get this, this is so cool. I'm so pumped about it. I just found out from reading the documents. It's not going by date of enrollment. So if you signed up on January 2nd and on, guess what the company is going by for your enrollment to get this bonus? February 1st. So you have all of February, all of March, and all of April to get into the fast track. So it's by full calendar month. So that is a huge perk, you guys, if you signed up. If you signed up February 2nd and beyond, next March 1st begins. So this is a free month for you. You better get to work, because this is a free month for you. Then you start April 1st. And this is for everybody who is enrolled by May 31st. So this isn't part of the comp plan. This is something that is going on through May 31st. So if you sign a distributor May 31st, they're eligible for this. If they don't extend this, somebody who signs up June 1st, they would not be eligible for the Go and the Go Fast bonus, depending on what they do. So the second thing, if you're an existing distributor, meaning you're an executive, a DT, a Ruby, an Emerald, you have until June 30th, 2017 to receive the Diamond Go bonus. You have to be Fast Start qualified, meaning in eSuite, there's a check mark saying that you're Fast Start qualified, and you have to have 4 qualified loyal customers with that enrolled in 2017. So here's another tricky thing that you want to write down, and if you have people on your team, you need to remember this. Your 4 loyal customers must have at least 25 BV in their enrollments for their 3 months. So if they order essential oils or anything below 20 BV, that is not counted as a qualified loyal customer. You might as well move that LC for someone else. It needs to be a minimum of 25 BV to be one of the 4. If you go Diamond and, in your allotted time frame, and you don't have 4 customers under you from 2017, you will not get this bonus. So this is really, really important to remember, stuff you don't want to forget. What I like to tell people is when you get the small BV customers, like hair, skin, and nails, fat fighters, things that are like less than 30, keep 4 under you for 2017. If you did that in January or before this in February, you don't need to keep any more under you. You can place them. If you're new and all this placement stuff sounds confusing, just in a nutshell, you can place to promote your business. If you have distributors on your team that are maybe not working as fast or as urgent as you are, you can place customers under them to help you promote to the rank you're going to. So when I say keep the customers that are low BV under you, that's what I'm referring to. When I say place anything that's bigger, that's because you want to get that box to 400 faster. And again, I'll explain in detail when we do the charting Zoom. The next thing that I want to talk about is all existing distributors, Diamond and above, So if you've ever been the lifetime rank of diamond or above, your date is until March 31st. So we said everybody else who's below that, you have until June 30th to go diamond. If you are already been a lifetime rank of diamond and above, you have until March 31st to achieve the next rank to qualify for the Go Fast bonus. Then once you've qualified for that, then you have the allotted time for the successive promotion. So here's another thing. I hope this is not too confusing. If you're taking notes, it'll make sense. If you go fast, in other words, you get the Go Fast bonus, you're eligible for every other Go Fast bonus. So let's say you go fast and get the Go Fast diamond bonus, but then you don't go fast for double diamond. Say you missed month 4 to go diamond, month 5 you go double diamond. You go back to the Go bonus. It's no longer Go Fast, it's a Go bonus. And now moving forward, you're only eligible for Go bonuses. So you can't go back to Go Fast. So if you're going to get a Go Fast bonus, you have to boom, 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 every rank be hitting the Go Fast. So that means you're going fast. Like people know that you're on fire and you're doing this. So let me see if there's any, I don't know if I have access to see the chat. Does anybody else have questions of the stuff? Okay. If I signed up in 2015, then now I need 4 loyal this year to qualify. Yes, so if you signed up in 2015 or 2016, you need 4 loyal customers underneath you directly. That's why I share, just keep the low BV ones. Not that you don't have to have the high BV ones. Okay, so the next thing, to qualify for all Go Fast bonuses, you must get the initial book promotion, like what I just shared. So hopefully that makes sense. And then the next thing, you're able to catch up to the next bonuses. So, even if you miss the Go Fast, you can still be eligible for all the Go bonuses. So I hope that this makes sense to you guys. And the last thing that I wanted to share with this specific chart is, here's what you need to do to start growing your team. I'm doing this, I did it last night, I'm starting to do it today. I am reaching out to people and I'm telling them, friend, I'm going for this because I can still get these bonuses. I have a 2.0 spot. When you go ambassador, you can re-enroll yourself. So I'm collecting a paycheck for my account. I have my husband's a triple diamond, and now I have a 2.0. It's at Ruby. It was Ruby, but now it's nothing. So I'm just in your all's shoes. If you're new, you're just like me. I'm in a position where I'm pretty much starting from scratch on my 2.0. And I am going for diamonds. Like, I'm determined to make it happen in 3 months. So let's do this. Like, let's really do. So I'm reaching out to my potentials. I'm building new potentials. And I'm telling them, friend, I'm going diamond. I'm going to get this $10,000 bonus. Like, you need to do this with me. I'm not asking. I'm telling you, need to do this with me. It'd be so fun. Have you thought about supplementing a side income? Like, tell people that you're doing this. Tell them that you want to do this with them. And ask them if they have ever thought about supplementing a side income. Most will ask you, what do you do? Or what does that take? And right then and there, if they ask that, then they immediately go on your hundreds list. If you don't know what a hundreds list, you need to watch that video I posted on the team page because it is so good. It's about building your hundreds list. This is what we work off of. So that is what I want you to do. And then what I explained to you guys in a bit, we have a really cool thing that's going to help you. You need to tell them, I'm so excited. There's a select group. We're working with a focused training group. It's about to start tomorrow. I would love for you to be a part of this. That way you can start getting enrollments today. So let them know we're going to have an intense training group and that they are not alone, that they have a full team of support and that you are doing this with them. One of the biggest reasons why people don't say yes right away is because it's fear of the unknown. That's why I said no. That's probably why you didn't say yes right away. It's a lot of the unknown. Do I have time? Can I do this? Am I social enough? Do I know enough people? Like, there are a lot of what ifs, right? So how do we get somebody to overcome that? It's being excited and letting them know you have all the tools and that you're doing it with them. They're not alone. And that's going to help get people overcome the fears that a lot of people struggle with. So I want you to start doing that today. And we're going to talk in a bit when I talk about what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. We're going to talk about actually growing your network, what working your business looks like. So let me make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Okay. So if anybody has anything, feel free to put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask if any of this you need clarity on.
I don't have a question. I don't have a comment. I'm glad that you said that. I actually just got off the phone with a PDT, and one thing to make sure at the end of the conversation is ask them, do you have any concerns or questions? Because that's where you have an opportunity to know what their hang up so that you can actually address it. You know, like I asked that, and her thing was kind of like, "Oh, I'm new here. I don't know that many people." So I was able to address the fact that you can work this through social media almost.
I love that.
You can build your base that way. You know, once she kind of gets that comfort, I'll, you know, be able to explain more about blitzing and getting to your cold market. But having that comfort that she can reach people just through online parties, I think is going to help her, you know, jump into the business. So just want to make sure people aren't afraid to ask, what are your hang-ups? You don't want someone to walk away with their hang-up and you not address it.
I agree. I think that's awesome advice. All right, so I'm going to share with you something that's live and available right now on your Wired app. If you don't have Wired, you can get it. This is a document that I'm pretty confident we're going to be going over at our boot camp, which you guys, if you have not yet made a decision to find a way to get to boot camp, first of all, you should already have major FOMO if you didn't get to conference because it was so life-changing. You need to get to boot camp. It is March 17th and 18th. It's in Dallas, Texas. We will coordinate a post on Rap Warriors to carpool if we need to. We need to be there. You guys, we have a little saying that's show up to go up. And these are one of the tools and the trainings that we're going to go over. But this is now available in Wired. So I just texted it to myself. Let me get it so I can send it in the app. So, all right. Well, hold on. Before I send that, I'm going to put this in the chat. All right, so that should be in your chat box already. So let me go over this, this document. So this is now available. You know, this is really what working your business looks like. List 10 new names of people I want to talk to about the products. Like, who do you know? I'm not sure why I hear that. Hold on one second. Okay. So look at this chart. Who do I know that I can talk to about about the products? Now list 10 people that I want to join my team. I mean, it's this simple. This is what we do every day. Every day I'm adding 10 new names at least. Who is a potential? Who wants to try products? Now a minimum of 5 people that I need to follow up with from January. Who have you talked to in January? You know, did you talk to anyone? You know, that you identified your top 25, so now you want to invite them to a party. It can be an online party. It can be a 3-way call with your upline, a coffee date. You know, just really finding time to be intentional about meeting with them and connecting. It takes somebody on average 8 to 15 times, I think is the statistic, before they say yes. If you've signed somebody before asking them 8 to 10 times, guess what? You're a rock star. So don't be defeated at the nose. We got to keep asking. Who are you following up with? Have you blitzed people? It could be a blitz online. It could be, you know, the server at Chili's. It could be, you know, anywhere that you go that you're talking to people about what you do. Are you following up with them? Rap parties. Are you talking to people about booking rap parties? Asking, you know, who's your favorite? Those are people that should be hosting your rap parties. Social media. How many people do you need to follow up with, or that you haven't even reached out to via social media? And then you put your goals. You want, who are your 4 customers? Who are your 3 distributors? When I say this business is simple, this is exactly what I mean. We don't have a business plan that has like a bunch of, you know, complication stuff and proposals and pages like you do when you go get a business loan at the bank to open up your business. This business plan is get 4 customers, get 3 distributors every month. The same thing every single month. So what your goals are as a new distributor are no different than mine or people who've been in this business beyond 10 years. We got to hear from people at conference, from people who've been in this business beyond 10 years. So that's incredible. The next document, let me open up the next document. And let me shut this out. The next document that's also in there is the other page. Reaching out to everyone on your hundreds list. Again, if you don't know what a hundreds list is, I really want you to watch that video that I posted on Rap Warriors on working your hundreds list. You know, if you need tips on what to say, here are some example scripts. You know, what are recruiting scripts? I'm having so much fun with my business. I want you to do this with me. Again, notice how they're not asking, you know, do you want to do this business with me? They're going to say no. I'll tell you that. But if you say, I want you to do this with me, there's a confidence that you have in them that they don't have in themselves majority of the time. If I could do this business with anyone, I would totally want to do this with you. What are my chances? Like, my gosh, that's bold. I would be honored if somebody told me that. If somebody said, like, what are my chances? Like, you know, I'm not going to be like, you know, a but and be like, none, you know, I might, but what if I'm like, well, what does it look like? What do you do? You know, can I do this? Do I have the time? Like, those are the things that are going through their mind. And then once you know that it's something they're interested in and they have obstacles, we're going to help you overcome those obstacles. Rap party script. I need a favor, friend. What would you like to have 3 or 4 friends over to try a rap with you? I can come to your house and do this since I know you're so busy. It will be super laid back, casual fun, at the most 2 hours. And all you need to have is water. I can even take the water. Like, what do you say? Let's do this, you know? I'm hosting a party at my house, you know, Friday night. Would love for you to come check things out. What do you have planned? Just be bold, guys. Go out there, ask. You know, if you're in San Antonio, we do rap parties weekly. And if you're not getting planted and plugged and committed to taking people to them, why not? I have done this a million times. I know the party pad like the back of my hand. Even if you don't have potentials, come and learn how to do the party pad. You'll hear my spiel, hear other people's spiel, the different people present it differently. And I always take something from the party pad different from every person I hear, whether they're on my team, on the sideline, upline, and make it your own. So be getting people there. You're having somebody else do the work for you. And I think it's amazing because there are so many other cities and teams that have told me, I wish so much that I had something like that in my city. So take advantage of them. Social media script.
So, Candy, you know, this is Caro. One thing that I really liked was when they said, you know, create a party culture in your team and with the people that you're sponsoring. Social media is amazing, but parties and events is also where it's at. So sometimes we just get focused like on social media, or because we met them on social media, we think that that's the way that that it has to keep going. But it was like, just from personal experience, when I was growing like the most and at high speeds was when I was partying like all the time. And plus it just builds your network. So I thought it was really cool that, you know, that they suggested create a party culture, like, you know, even with your newbies, like, okay, you know, you can work this business any way that you want. That's the beauty of this business. But for sure, let's do a launch. Like, that's imperative, you know. And even if they're not in your same city, you could still launch them. You know, there are other ways that you can do that.
If you can't personally launch them and they're in a different city, one thing that we got to get more bold with is empowering people to be leaders. You know, and the reason why I say this with confidence, and it's not to be like a jerk, like, oh, don't, but like, seriously, we need to start, we have so much self-doubt in ourselves because of the world. That's the only reason why we doubt ourselves, because sometimes it's people in our very own home that are telling us that we're wasting our time or that we can't do this. But you've got to find that inner why, that inner drive, that inner thing that maybe has never come out of you, or maybe it was once in you at a time you feel like you've lost that person in you. And just, you know, be bold. I know that for my first party, my sister was new. She was in a different state. She lives in California. You know, I was watching videos on YouTube. I studied the notes. You know, the party pad notes are in eSuite. So when I did my first party, I was a nervous wreck. I knew nothing. I was so broke. I had never tried any of the products. So I was so scared people were going to ask me, and I didn't know what to say. I didn't have products to sample besides greens and wraps. Like, I was a disaster walking into that party. I remember being at her apartment complex, like watching videos, taking more notes, and nervous, like, I'm going to screw this up. But I walked in there with a fake it till you make it confidence, with an ignorance on fire kind of attitude. And guess what? Caro, do you want to share? I mean,
well, it's so cool because, yeah, I mean, everybody signed up, got all, you know, first loyal customers there. And I mean, you made a pretty penny too. Like, you know, that's so motivating and inspiring for a person that is like their first party, and you walk out with $150, you know, like, and you were there 2 hours.
Yes.
So it's so cool.
And it's so exciting too, because then Carolina signed up as a distributor, and guess what? She had 4 or 5 customers that signed up that day. So she started her business on the fast track. She got, not only was she fast start qualified, she had her 4 LCs within 30 days, and she had an extra customer. And on top of that, she got a potential. They didn't sign up at that party, but because of that party, they signed up, and they later on went to be an emerald for her, or ruby to be her diamond. She went diamond. What was it, 4 months later?
Yeah, 5 months.
5 months later, and one of the people who didn't sign up at the party, but later on. So it's not always about the work that you're doing at that very moment. It's sometimes later on. So my challenge to every single one of you is, even if you plan to do this on social media, host one party, get the party pad notes out. You know, ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. If you're somebody who's very detail oriented, like, that is a gifting. Don't lose that, but also don't let it be a handicap in you prospering in this business. If you're trying to study the ingredients and the business plan and the comp plan, honestly, it's going to be tougher to go on the fast track if you're not just running with it and just, you know, I'll figure out the details later. When they ask me, I'll go find out and ask somebody. I'll go look at it later. But you know, if you're really trying to get the go fast bonuses, you've got to be ignorant on fire, in the sense that you're just running with it. You'll figure out the details as you go, because that is what's going to help you get these big, big bonuses. And so then the next thing is being intentional with your business every day. So here are some additional ideas to grow your business. Plan a blitz day at the mall. You know, if you have a free Sunday, or if maybe you don't work and during the day, like, go to the mall, take the babies. Like, people love to see that you can do this business with your kids and as a family. And when you blitz, it doesn't mean you have to be like, if you feel weird and creepy, just going up to a stranger, like, here's a coupon. Like, you don't have to do that. If you are great at that, you can. But if you wanted to just go and like have a relationship with people, when I go into the store, I look for people. You know, I might go into Aldo shoe store, and if the girl who's asking me if I, you know, can I help you? Can I try shoes on? Like, even if I didn't have money to buy shoes, I'm going to try shoes on because I want to start building a relationship. I'm going to ask her, oh, is this what you do full time? If she's sweet and she's outgoing and has good customer service, guess what? I want her on my Facebook. I want to build a relationship with this girl. I want her on my team eventually. And I know it might not be right away, but it might take time. And so that's something that you can do. You don't have to go, I mean, giving people a coupon, it's not hard giving people coupons. Like, hey, do you mind if I give you a coupon with what I do? Like, people are curious. We're nosy. We're human nature. Just want to know what other people do. Yeah, sure. What is this? Boom. That's just a segue. That's what the Blitz card is for. A segue to talk about what you do. Go to garage sales in your area on the weekend and blitz. Man, people, I don't care how much money I make. I'm always looking for a deal. You will see me at garage sales and flea markets. Like, I love a deal. I am Marshall's queen and Ross. Like, I don't care about going through every hanger before I find one good thing. I just love a good deal. If somebody were to blitz me and Marshall's like, if you want to go find other people that are as hungry as you are, go to places that you hang out at, you know? That they just go and go look for things and build relationship, connect with people, ask them if you can add them to your Facebook. Hey, what's your name on Facebook? Get your phone out and already have it ready to type their name. Assume they're giving it to you. Pass out Blitz card every time you open your wallet. You know, we have a thing, my husband and I, like, we can't come home. If we leave the house for anything at all whatsoever, we don't come home until we've passed out 5 Blitz cards. And I will sometimes tell people, guys, I'm sorry, like, if they're working at the cash register at a gas station, I'm so sorry. I know this is so random, but my husband and I, like, we can't go home until we told ourselves we wouldn't get to the house until we pass out 5 Blitz cards. And you're my last Blitz card. Can I give you this? And then they usually laugh, like, okay, like laughing, you know, like, sure, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then they ask, what is it? You know, like, this is not hard. It's just getting out of your comfort zone and getting creative. And we're going to share ideas. If something works for you, share it with the team. 4, have you and your family where it works t-shirts or caps. You know, with the thing that we're going to be doing, which I'll announce in just a bit, we're going to be doing lots of giveaways, and there could be t-shirts and caps that are in there. But one thing I'll also share is, you know, invest in one, less than $30. If you wear that shirt every day until it is faded, then you're doing your job, and I promise you'll grow your business. Okay, we already talked about that. Join fitness groups in your gym. You know, when I went presidential, I was making a when I went presidential, I obviously was making a lot more money. So I was able to afford a bunch of gym memberships. Guys, I had gym memberships at 4 different gyms. And I'm like, this is me networking. I'm going to go meet new people. I'm going to go talk to people. If you're not in that position, obviously, that's tough for like most people to do right away. Then don't do that, but go get connected to the gym you're in. If you could go, I think even like Anytime Fitness is $15 a month or something. If you don't have a gym that you can get connected with, find something where, other health groups, maybe there's some boot camps at the park or Zumbas at the park. Like, just go make new friends. Thank someone else for their services, a waitress, a cashier, and say, here's my business card. You were so great at what you do. If you're ever interested, let me know. Those who seem interested, friend them on Facebook right then and there. Have a hostess appreciation tea with all those that have ever hosted parties for you. Have them bring a friend. I've heard of people doing loyal customer appreciation days. Call at least 2 potential hostesses every single night. That could be something you might get no's, but if you get one party out of that, that could be your rock star to take you all the way to triple diamonds. Like, you never know who you're going to meet through these contacts. Writing down your goals and putting them in a visible place. We call it a 6 list. Every night before I go to bed, I talk about 6 things that I need to do tomorrow. And then I write down also, or put it visibly where I can see our ultimate goals. So that's something that's so important, because it's easier for this to slip your mind. In this business, what I have found is that if you let one day go, it turns into 2 days, then it turns into a week. And before you know it, this isn't important to you anymore because you've lost track of why you're doing this. So you've got to have visible goals that you can just remind yourself why you pour into this. Send follow-up postcards. This is something that I have not been great at, but I got some really good tips at conference about sending thank you cards to all of my customers. And as weird as I might look, I'm going back to 2014 and sending thank you cards and just sending them samples of, greens on the go. I put in my auto ship 3 to go. I use the tub. So I put in my auto ship 3 greens to go, because I'm going to be sending a lot of green samples to my existing loyal customers, even if they haven't ordered from me in 2 years. We've reformulated the greens. You never know if this is something they want to try. Call those that have said maybe or no. Don't ever take no as face value. No just means no, not right now. I have signed so many people that when I first asked them, it was out of the question. They didn't need this. They didn't want it. They could never see themselves doing it. But guess what? Life's changed. Now they have a baby. Now they're getting married. Now, there's a challenging situation and they need extra funds. Now they want to spend more time with their kids, or maybe they, on the negative, not the negative side, but on the other end, some people have kids that are having trouble at school and hanging out with the wrong crowd, and they just want to be more available to be there with their family. That would drive any mom to get out of their comfort zone. I don't care who you are. If you're a mom, if you had a child that was just not going in the right direction, you'd want to be around them as much as you can. So you've got to think that this business is so much deeper than a wrap. It is so much more than that. You are seriously helping families become all that God's called them to be as a family. Reviewing your hundreds list daily. You should be adding to that every single day. We talked about the thank yous and just following up, for loyal customers, introducing new products. They might have signed up with Greens, but they had no idea that we have hair, skin, and nails, or that we have essential oils. So these are awesome tools. You have access to this now in your Wired app. I put in the chat box these documents. So that is something that's really simple for you to start pulling up and working with and sharing every time you sign new people up. I'm going to check the chat box because I have not been in. Yes, and like Julie said, sometimes it's as simple as smiling and nodding while you're blitzing. That was a tip that was given at conference. Like when you're talking to somebody, it's like, do you want a blitz card? Like you're already nodding and saying yes. Do you want a blitz card? You don't say blitz card, but like, hey, can I give you a coupon about what I do? Like you're already, it's a psychological thing. Like in their mind, they're already like, sure, like just because they see you nodding. I think Carrie Young gave that tip. So I'm going to use that. Normally I'm like, hey, do you want to take this? I'm just going to try nodding. Hey, do you want to take this coupon? That's just a psychological thing and it works and people are going to take it. So that's something that's super simple that every single one of us can do when we're out and about. Okay, so let's get to the good stuff because some of you are going back to work and maybe you're doing this and your boss has no idea that you're on. All right, here's the good news. We are going to equip you with the training, with some excitement, how to get this done. How do I grow my network? How do I invite people into my social network? How am I going to get to diamond in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months? We are going to extend like an 18-day push is what we're calling it. It's like an 18-day power hour. It's going to be task driven Every single day, we're going to announce a specific task for you to do. It could be, follow 10 new people today, message 5 new people. And guess what? Every time you do it and you say you have to comment. So these are going to be presented in forms of live videos. It's not always going to be me. It's sometimes going to be leaders in this business that are doing the video. And we are going to, it's a live video. So whether you tune in when it's live or you come in afterwards, we want you to comment when you've done it. Say, okay, done, I've done it. And you're going in an entry we're going to do random contests throughout. So you just want to do the task every single day. And what's going to happen is it's going to build your confidence. You're going to realize the things that we're telling you to do really does work. I think that's half the battle, is wondering, like, is it really going to help me? When you do it and you realize that you can do it, it works. Yay, no pun intended, right? Or maybe it is intended. So it really does work. So that's going to build your confidence, but you're going to get products from this. We're going to do random giveaways from you just participating in this. So that's just a freebie, the icing on the cake. It could be product gear. It could be Blitz cards. I really believe you can get to the top of this company with very little investment. So some of you see auto ships as an expense, and that right there needs to shift. If you have an auto ship that you're struggling to pay, that is one thing that is keeping you from where you're called to be. We've got to be a product of the product. If we're not running an auto ship, then that means you're not using the product. And if you're not using the product, I guarantee you're not talking to very many people about these products, because there is something that's in you that is doubting that they really do work, that somebody could spend $30 on greens. When I started this, and when Sammy started this, my sister, she was in such a challenging financial position that it was hard for her to ask people to order products. She felt like it was a burden. Like, how can I ask somebody to spend $60 on wraps? Like, they're struggling. And she felt like it was a burden. But guess what? When she started putting this wrap on more people, she realized what she had her hands on. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's only $60. Like, this same broke person just spent $200 at a spa for a water wrap that doesn't even last. People find the funds for things that they really want to change their life. And so you've got to be that for that person. If you're not using the products or using them as tools to help you grow your business, like I said, the Greens on the Go, so I can grow and expand and keep and have retention on my customers. And then another thing is, majority of my customers turn into distributors. So if you haven't had that happen yet, maybe you've been a Rockstar LC recruiter, but you don't have distributors, chances are you just haven't asked people to join your business. Like, have you ever thought about doing this with me? It's that simple. So use these products as tools to help incentivize them. And then, of course, as you're using them on yourself. So I want you all to start seeing this business, like look at your bank account in your mind, close your eyes and really look at your bank account and imagine a few more zeros in there. Like, if it's at zero, don't imagine that. But pretend there's at least a 1 in there. If you have a buck in your bank account. I want you to imagine a few more zeros. Let's add 4 or 5 more zeros to whatever's in your bank account. What does that look like for your family? If you were to log in, maybe you don't even have to check in. You don't have to log into your bank account very often because there's more than enough. But you're just going in, making sure there's no fraudulent activity, nothing weird going on. You're logging into your bank account. There's 4 or 5 more zeros added into your bank account right now. What would that look like for your family? That's what I want you guys to envision, because that is what's going to keep you doing the things that are going to change your life. That's going to keep you from getting out of your comfort zone. And that right there is what's going to change lives. And what I will tell you is, when you realize that people on your team really are able to start paying more bills and putting food on the table, and they can go on date nights and things marriages are becoming restored because they now are not fighting about money, you're going to be fearless and relentless who you talk to about this business. This business is life-changing. We have all the tools available, but we can't force anyone to use them. We're going to start doing weekly online parties. We have the tools available with the, if you're in San Antonio, if you don't have them, that's still okay. You can create them in your area. Let's get out there and just be bold. These powers, this 18-day push is going to be really huge. So that 18-day push, I'm going to post this Zoom on the Rapware team page. So I want you to tag your team if they were not on this to watch it. And then I want you to let everybody know on your team and even your potentials that you're so excited because we have a focused training group that's starting and you want them to be a part of it. Friend, where I'm about to start this focus training, even if it's in the midst of the focus training group, you still continue to use that. We have this focus training group that's going to help you grow your business. It's going to teach you everything you need to know to be successful in this. You need to do this with me. I want you to be confident when you tell people, fake it till you make it kind of confidence. And just tell people, I want you to do this with me. If you've been asking the same people for the last few months, I want you to seriously put them on your follow-up list and let them go for a bit. okay, for a hot minute. We're gonna let them go. I've talked to so many people say I just can't sign distributors. Well, my first thing is, first of all, what you just said is part of the reason why you can't sign them. When you say that, that's a declaration you just made over your business. Everybody can sign distributors. I know because I talk to everybody who does, and everybody can sign a distributor. So you have to stop speaking that. We need to get comfortable and used to make it a habit of speaking life into our businesses. I can sign distributors. I'm going to sign distributors. Like, I'm going to help change people's lives. And I think that that's one thing that we can definitely be better at. And the second thing is just getting out and talking to new people. And I got to talk to this amazing girl on the team who might even be on here. You know, she's beautiful and she posts the most clean and clear, crisp pictures. And one of the things I told her is, I noticed your pictures don't get very many likes, and that tells me that you're probably don't have a big network. Are you adding people to Facebook every day? And she's like, no, I'm not. I asked, are you messaging people every day? No, not every day. Well, that is exactly, but I know she's hungry. She's determined. She's a hustler. She's going to do what it takes to help her family. And it was like a light bulb went off. And I think some of us are just not doing the work. And maybe it's because you didn't know what the work looks like. Well, now you know. But if you did know, you just had a fear that has been holding you back. That's because God has huge blessing before you. If things are trying to keep you from going forward, that is because God has big plans for you. And the enemy sees that, what's ahead of you. So you've got to get a grip of where the attack is coming from. It's not God. The enemy doesn't want you to be a blessing to God's kingdom. He sees what It Works distributors are about. He sees that we are givers. We left Tampa. You know what the mayor of Tampa said? That if something crazy happened over the week. He said, I have restaurants messaging me and like just raving about these It Works people. You guys are generous tippers. Everybody's talking about how generous It Works people are. That is the culture that we get to represent. We don't have to do anything. We get to. So let's keep in mind why we're doing this. Let's stay focused on changing lives, and let's do this from a place of joy. Sometimes that is a choice and not a feeling, guys. I will tell you right now that when things are hard, I have been there. I've been there where I have not been able to know how we're gonna pay our bills, calling creditors, asking them if we could just make a very, very minimum payment to not get thrown on a list. Like, I have been there. And working your business when you are seriously not sure how you're gonna pay your bills is not easy, but it's done because of the choice I made. I chose to work this in joy. I chose to believe that this business was going to change our life. I chose to tell people I was going to go diamond, get a $10,000 bonus. It was a choice. I didn't know if it was real. And I didn't, they didn't know I was just brand new. They didn't know I wasn't really going diamond, but it wasn't a lie. Like, I meant I was going diamond, just not that month. It was just like, yes, I'm going diamond and I'm going to get a $10,000 bonus. And I was expectant. That is the God we serve, like that He can deliver the things we're expectant for, because that is His word. He says it. So we can't, God's not a liar. Like, it's His will. So we just got to get out there. Maurice just put it. It's called network marketing, not, I've heard not network, not net wishing. We can't wish these things to come upon our families. We've got to expect them. Some of you, that means you've got to right now start pruning out the negativity in your lives. It could be your best friend. It could be your mom. It could even be your spouse. And what that means is, obviously you can't get rid of your spouse, and we don't want you to. We want you to just be focused on why you're doing this for your spouse, so that you could be a blessing to others. We are blessed to be a blessing. For me, it did look like, proving my husband wrong. He was not fully on board. I had to prove him wrong, and it was a decision. Like, no, I'm going to do this. He would text me at night, like, you're going to sleep late again. You're always on your phone. You're not even with the baby. Like, and it wasn't because he didn't, and it wasn't because he's a negative, but my husband, if you guys know my husband, he's like the biggest cheerleader, loves God, like loves me, but neither of us had ever done anything like this. And he didn't have the vision God put on my heart. And one thing that he tells people now is, we had been praying for blessing. We thought it was going to come through his business, but the blessing came in the form of his wife, through me. So if you guys have been praying for blessing in your home, sometimes you think it's through your husband's business and it's really coming through you. Or some of you, if you're a man on this Zoom, same thing. It comes through you, through the form of this business. So you've got to be focused on proving your family wrong in a good way. Because I promise you, the minute they see a comma in your paycheck, it'll catch their attention. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe I do know somebody that you could talk to. Yvonne doesn't work the business, and that's not what God's calling is for him in this role with me. Like, he helps me in the sense that he brings people to me, but his calling that God called him to was real estate, and he gets to pursue real estate because he can. We don't need the money, but because he loves it and he's gifted in it, he gets to pursue it. Before, we were in a place of working his business in fear. He had no choice but to take every single showing, working 7 days a week. I felt like a single mom. That was not God's best. He can work his business in joy. And so I just challenge all of you guys right now to start thinking of, who do you know that kind of plays an influence in your life that has been keeping you from doubting yourself? Is it a loved one? Is it friends that are maybe it's really just time to start thinking, are they really my friends? Or if they're not supporting me bettering my life, like, is that who I really need in my life? And when I say cut ties with them, I don't mean like literally blocking on Facebook. Sometimes it really means, stop seeing their stuff in your newsfeed. Yes, do that. But love them from afar. God's word says to pray for our enemies. Like, and not that they're necessarily enemies, but if there are people that are not on your side and not cheering you on, they cannot be around you. When you have the mental battle every single day, you're doubting yourself. Every day as an Ambassador Diamond right now, I still have times in my day that I doubt myself, that I don't know if I can do this, that I have fear messaging people, but I choose to get over it. So I can't afford to put myself around people that are not on my side, that are not for me. So I have to choose to surround myself with people that are where I want to be. And that is your choice too. So let's do this, team. I'm so pumped. I'm going to share here what Maurice just studied, but God wants to increase your capacity until you increase your, capacity. God cannot release provision. You have to make room for God to move in your life. Yes, I completely agree. And I love what Joel Dunn said, what Lisa just said right now, that complacency that you have been living in. If that is you, you've been living through complacent, that is a spirit and it's not of God. So you got to kind of I'm not going to be complacent. I'm not going to make any dent in God's kingdom, being comfortable and complacent. It is time, guys. We are going to break through some major barriers and have major breakthrough over the next few months. I want to see bills paid in full. I want to see people posting on their social media, because of this business, you're debt free. And I'm just claiming it. And we're just going to close in prayer, like just a baby prayer. It's not going to be anything like crazy. But I just want you guys to know that there's so much favor over this business, over this team. You guys have praying upline. I know that me and most of your diamond upline, we're all praying for our teams to have more than enough. And so I just declare right now, Father God, we just thank you for this opportunity, for all the tools that you're equipping us with to be a blessing to others. And you get all the glory, God, because we know that what looks impossible is possible with you. You've done it for me. You've done it through so many on this team. You've done it for so many people, sidelines and uplines, and for hundreds and hundreds of families that are living a fearless life because of this business. And we just thank you for It Works. We thank you for Mark and Cindy Pentecost, our CEOs. We declare just complete favor and blessing over them and over everybody on this Rap Warrior team, that you have just a boldness, a fearlessness that you've never had before, that a fire in your belly has trickled into you today that you've never felt. And we just thank you, God, for that fire, because we know it's you, and we know that we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. So God, we just ask you right now to be by our side. We ask to be at the right place and at the right time. Put the right people before us, Father God, and help us change lives. And we just thank you in advance for Go bonuses, for Go Fast bonuses, and again, for bills paid in full. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys, I love you. Let's do this. And we are going to start that challenge. We were going to wait till tomorrow, but I think we should start today because I think it's doable. Let's all get to work and just be focused and ask questions on the team page, ask questions in your upline. If you're not in a specific group thread where you have a tight-knit community, reach out to me. We can help put something together. It's amazing to do this business with Sideline Family. So I'm excited. Let's do this. Bye, guys. I hope you guys have an incredible day.